HONORIS, and then later on the matches for progression, Eyeballers versus Young Ninjas Academy, effectively the NIP Academy, and of course Infected Nation Esports versus Coalesce. Now, before we go forward to the teams themselves, let's see the current standing in the Swiss stage. Let's see how the teams are still standing. We already saw an overview earlier, but the correction now here is Ungentium at 0 and 3. And of course, with our first win for FTW, they're at 1 and 2. The rest still stand as it is. The 4 teams on the left, Coalesce, Young Ninjas, Infected Nation, Esports, and Eyeballers at 2-0. And of course, the middle teams in between, BLUEJAYS, ITB, Nexus, HONORIS, Mixfits, Illuminar, Spirit Academy, and Tricked in 1-to-1 lineups. Now, as I mentioned, though, we have the elimination match between Los KOGUTOS and Endpoint, and we are going to go into the Endpoint first to see which lineup and what lineup they'll be bringing onto the table here. Mighty Max, Surreal, MHL, Heavy God, Nerds, and Ragin as the coach will be the 5, and, well, +1 with Ragin, of course, as the Masters of the Universe here of Endpoint. They've got 2 UK players. They've got Nerds and Heavy God, both from Israel, and MHL, a Polish player. Back in the day, used to play for, well, I think everybody should recognize the name, but used to play for AGO. He was quite recognizable and quite impactful. He played for the team for almost 3 or 4 years. Had a brief stint in, I believe, in Mao's NXT, but then picked up by Endpoint. And of course, on the other side, as I said earlier, with the 2 Israelis, Nerds and Heavy God. Nerds, we could see him in Finest for a little while back in the day, but he's been in Endpoint for now basically a year, almost 2 years. This year will be 2 years in November. And of course, Heavy God, I believe he's the freshest member of the squad. He joined in late 2022, and before that, not really that we could see him a lot around other teams, perhaps Budapest 5, etc., but otherwise never really in the big teams. So this is, you know, this is a good, I think the lineup is pretty cool. We'll see how they work together. We'll see how they manage. But moving on to the team that they'll be facing, though. It is, as I said, a Polish team that they'll be facing. Mary, Tomiko, Enzo, Asran, and Darcheville, I believe would be the correct pronunciation. And no coach, at least not officially, said. So in this case, I recognize 2 guys. It's Tomiko and Enzo. These 2 I've had the pleasure of seeing before already. Tomiko back in the day, and Enzo in Isako Bors. So Tomiko, of course, from Illuminar, Enzo from Isako Bors. The rest I'm not particularly familiar with and haven't had the chance to cast them in any official matches just yet. In any case, the veto is what matters here, the maps that we'll be seeing. And it's hard to predict how this is going to go, which maps we'll be seeing, but it's safe to say we'll probably be seeing something in the likes of Mirage Inferno, potentially an overpass or nuke thrown in there, depending how the teams feel. We know for a fact that, you know, Endpoint have a pretty good map pool. They pretty much play all the maps, but bar, let's say, a few like New or Anubis, for example. They're not particularly fond of playing those 2 if they don't need to. On the other hand, Los KOGUTOS, we know they're not particularly fond of Inferno and Anubis. So we have a ban on Inferno from Los KOGUTOS. No surprise there. Nuke banned by Endpoint. Again, as I said, something they perhaps don't like to play if they don't need to. With Vertigo being our first map, it is going to be a close call here on Vertigo. Both teams relatively successful, especially Los KOGUTOS with 7 maps played and basically, what, 6 or I believe 6 map wins on it. On Ancient, the choice of Endpoint, though, it's a little bit of a different story. Basically, 10 more maps played for Endpoint and, of course, almost twice as many maps won on Ancient compared to, of course, Los KOGUTOS. Banning Overpass and Mirage next and leaving it to Anubis. That is a surprising factor to me, at least. The fact that we see Anubis being played tells you that both of these 2 teams might have taken it into consideration, being the new map, that maybe one or the other might not be prepared for it. So I'm excited to see how it goes, but with Vertigo starting first, this might be one hell of a banger of a game. And to be fair, I gotta say it outright right here. I believe that Endpoint is at an advantage that is almost uncomparable in term to Los KOGUTOS. So we'll see how it goes for Los KOGUTOS, but I think they need to win Vertigo in order to have any chance of pulling to a 3rd at all. But with that said, game is ready. Let's jump right into it. And here we are. Map 1, Vertigo. It is going to be round 1, the pistol. We've got 4 Kevlars and Heavy God with the defuse and a smoke on Endpoint. LKG, Le KOGUTOS, I'll just call them by that because it's easier. Of course, with 4 Kevlars and a smoke and a Molotov on Darcheville. And this is an A play. First contact already coming out, I believe, from Nerds. He's already had to see them through short 2 players coming out. Let's see if perhaps Nerds can hold the line. No, Astron will find him. It's looking pretty good right now for the side of LKG. And so we'll find Heavy God. It's looking solid. The bomb down. And this should in turn mean a round victory for LKG unless MHL, Surreal, and Mighty Max, the 3RD, can make some magic happen. Is that possible? The answer is unlikely. Yeah, okay, they get Enzo, that's good, but the after plan set here for the T's is just too strong. Surreal and MHL left. They have a smoke, yes. Ooh, MHL jumps, a bit of a mistake from his side, and now has to pick up what he can, get the hell out of dodge, and that is going to be a wrap of the round. 1-0, Los KOGUTOS take the pistol as they open up Vertigo. At an advantage for themselves. We have MHL avoiding detection. And a solid start here for the Polish team. Compared to Ungentium, for example, they at least win one pistol. Keep in mind that I got lost in my mind there for a second. Keep in mind that you know, winning the pistols was instrumental for Ungentium to potentially bring it back home. They never did. So that was 4 rounds lost, and if you count the fact that there's 2 more rounds, 1 more round at least after each pistol, that's, you know, that's 8 rounds lost in total just because of the pistols. Potentially an additional 4, so 12 in total, split across 2 maps, of course. In any case, we are live right here, right now. Now, as far as I can tell, Mary is not playing. But forced by Endpoint. MHL saving for the op, of course, with the CZ. He's going to be a dangerous adversary. Oh, Mighty Max. Oh, boy, are we already starting it like that, aren't we? MHL does get caught. That's a problem. Mighty Max hits a second. Heavy God getting caught. But Darcheville and Shenanigan are able to clean the house. And that should be an easy second here for LKG. Well, easy is perhaps a strong word. Definitely a second round potentially, but nothing easy about it. Nerds! He takes it a little bit too far in a 1v1. Darcheville is next to him under that headshot spot, able to get the kill. But the damage is immense on Los KOGUTOS. 4 players lost, yes. The bomb plant, yes. The round victory, but 4 players means they will be lacking quite a little bit of money, especially if they lose any more. And now against this anti-eco. Round 3. It starts off as well as you could expect. With the Mech 10s in tow, LKG will not stop at anyone's expense. And might be a clean one. It will be, most likely. Surreal, last player alive. Looking for a free kill. And so, he certainly has the right idea where Surreal could be tucked away. And, oh, he's about to spot him. Yep, there we go. Clean round for LKG. Okay, so, Vertigo, a map that we've seen more than enough. More than many a time here already. I feel like Endpoint certainly have an advantage overall in this series. For Vertigo, perhaps it's a little bit of a different story in general. We'll see how their CT holds up. I think MHL is going to have to deliver with the op as well if things are to take... well, technically, if he had saved up for the op, but I guess he went for the rifle instead. We'll see, to be sure. Meanwhile, we have the Mech 10 still in the hands of LKG. Mid-presence caught by Nerds. Perhaps he can put an end to the early push. Let's see for certain. Is there a flashbang coming through? Nope, just an off angle. And yep, Nerds has the first, Nerds has the second, Nerds has the third! Oh boy, now that is going to be... that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt big time. It's going to be two players left, Darcheville and Tomiko. They do not have the C4, so even with taking B site, they do not have a chance to plant here. Darcheville, though, with the Mech 10, deadly, finds MHL. Good start. A 2-on-3 right now that Tomiko needs to make up for. And the CTs are well aware where they're coming from. Surely they're expecting somebody in CT deep A as well. And yes, that's exactly the case. But through the smoke, Mighty Max and Heavy God. Well, Mighty Max gets the kill, but Heavy God does the, let's say, the distraction needed. And Nerds secures a 4K. Ooh la la. Nerds with the off angle, killing 4 players. Well, 3 initially, then the 4th to finish it off. Endpoint win their first gun round. They lose a lot of players, yes, but they get the gun round, which is what matters most right now. Let's see if they can keep going, though. Keep at it. As long as KOGUTOS reply with their own investment, AKs across the board, utilities, whatever you want in that department. Perhaps lacking a little bit of an MHL on the side of Endpoint, but they'll make do as they go along. We've got 3 players towards A, 1 towards middle, 1 towards B. Classic standard setup coming out from Endpoint. A ramp control is kind of like the golden standard of Vertigo, and you really want to make sure you get it every single time if you can. Heavy God gets 1. Good refrag by Darcheville, though. Here comes MHL. Is he going to be able to get a free kill or not? We're about to find out. He gets 1. He gets 2. That is enough. He gets the advantage, and all of a sudden Darcheville and Shenanigans, excuse me, then Shenanigans and Tomiko left. Doesn't matter. Mighty Max and Nerds clean up the mess. And that shall be the second. Endpoint off to a brilliant start. And 69 certainly feels like the way we played it here. Could be the end of the half, 6-9 as well. You never know. I'm glad they removed the helicopter, at least. That was an annoying sound at the start of the round. If all of you remember back when Vertigo first came out, we'd have a helicopter that kind of landed the CTs. Didn't show the landing, obviously, just kind of flying away, which was loud as hell and really didn't allow you to hear anything too early on. Heavy God, meanwhile, peeking in with MHL. Good hold, very good hold. 5 survivors. And a beautiful start to the map for Endpoint, to be fair. They lose a pistol. They lose 2 more afterwards. And then, bam, all of a sudden, back-to-back 3 rounds. And Shenanigan is the replacement for Mary. Not sure why Mary is not playing, but I guess either other obligations or just couldn't make it. Or maybe just an illness. Hopefully that's not the case. That's always the worst assumption, but in any case, back to AKs. LKG lacking in utility. They've got 1 smoke, 1 molly, 1 flash. That's not good. Or 2 flashbangs. Whether it be 1 or 2, doesn't matter. The point is it's not good. And a good angle for MHL. Seemingly knowing Astran is there. And Heavy God supporting the hold. They seem to have a beautiful duet going here. Dancing the tango of death as LKG is trying to make their way up the ramp. This is going to be very difficult for them to handle. Endpoint, a long-time organization of the UK scene, fielded many different rosters, but I believe they finally found a home for both Surreal and Mighty Max where they feel comfortable. They've been with the organization for over 3 years now, I believe. Nerds has been with them for almost a year as well, if not longer, actually. With MHL and Heavy God, as I said earlier, the newest additions. Tomiko gets Surreal. That's B site now open. It's going to be Nerds to reply. Mighty Max gets caught on the rotation. Enzo with a beautiful timing. And Nerds needs to find at least 1. Does he get it? No! Shenanigans through the smoke. An angle for Heavy God, but it's not enough. Enzo on middle. denies MHL as well. That should be the fourth for LKG. I mean, Heavy God, he's tagged, he's bagged, he's about to be dead, and yep, there we have it. That is going to be round 4 to LKG. They managed to persevere, yet for Endpoint, not too big of an issue. They have the money to rebuy. Weapons are back on the menu. Round 8 right now. Still no AWP for Endpoint. Perhaps comes as a tiny bit of a surprise. I would have thought they would like to have picked it up earlier, but I can definitely understand their, let's say, delay in that. It's a big investment. It's a risky investment, we shall say. Mighty Max doesn't get anything. Surreal doesn't get anything. Ooh, what a good hold coming out. Oh, excuse me, attack coming out from LKG. Endpoint, unfortunately, not a good hold. A nade on Astran brings them down, but it's a 3v4 retake. Now, this is something that Endpoint might be considering to already save if they don't get an entry quickly. Bomb has been planted, and the loss of life here has been immense for Endpoint. They have money to rebuy next if they save all 3 rifles. Nerds might be able to drop one. But they are still seemingly interested in going for this retake. It's going to be a hard retake, though. Very hard to break the defense. And yeah, they realized at the very end, yo, go back. Let's not lose what we have. Let's keep a buy for the next one. Might not be perfect, but 4 rifles plus perhaps an MP9 might be enough. MP5 could be nice as well. But that is the fish for LKG. Great start considering everything. As the Polish team is able to break the defense on B with Mighty Max and Surreal both being caught pretty much instantaneously, and Surreal currently at 0 frags. He is having a tough start. Reminds me of Sydney from the previous series, where he was starting 0-7. Did get back up on the second half, but still. It is still a concern, regardless. Round 9. And no buy. Fair enough. I respect that. They have the M4A4 on Nerds, so it kind of makes sense that he wouldn't have the money for an M4A1S. Does get Enzo, though. That's a good start. I mean, and with an eco, this is not the worst start, not the worst choice for an eco as well. They keep the money for the next. Even if they lose this, they have something to go for. If they win, that's just bonus at the end. Oh, this time, MHL being a little bit too cheeky. It's going to be Heavy God trying to refrag. He does so successfully. Now it's going to be a 3-prong attack coming in. Heavy God, yeah, this time caught behind that eye pillar. And Tomiko and Shenanigan get that damage in. With Mighty Max left as the sole defender on ramp. They got to be careful. C4 still dropped on the floor. Oh, Mighty Max! Okay. He makes it happen. 1v1 against Surreal, though. Let's see if Surreal can get the first round, excuse me, first kill and the round for himself, but it's going to be more difficult than anything, but Surreal gets it! 0-6, and the man with the plan, Surreal with a P250. Well, that is a lucky break if I've ever seen one, and he just saved a round. Yes, he had a tough start, but that is more important. The saving of the round is more important than his 0-6. Beautiful stuff that we see out of an eco that wasn't supposed to be winnable. They transfer onto a W. Timeout for Endpoint. Now, as I said, if they would have lost, they would have still bought most likely, or at least something to the liking of that. But with a victory, yes, their economy will again be in shambles after they buy, you know, left with pretty much nothing in the bank for the majority of the players. But at least they have the op out for MHL. They have the rifles out for the rest with utility to supply, to kind of, you know, additionally boost their chances. We're about to find out how Los KOGUTOS can cancel this out, though. Astron with a Tech 9, the rest with AKs. We're about to see how this one swings as we go into round 10. The first half already looking to be neck to neck as LKG again towards ramp, some presence being shown. Not surprised that Endpoint are fighting for it. Although this time only 2 players, this could be dangerous, especially if Heavy God falls. He does get only the one. A double would have confirmed their advantage. Now, let's see. Mighty Max. Can he at least find one before they fell him? He pulls back. Oh, MHL! A collat! A collat by MHL. Shenanigan and Tomico both caught. Holy smokes. Okay. Enzo, though, what a smart move. Goes on top of the bomb box. Gets the drop on MHL. That's the up out of commission. Still a 3v2. This retake gonna be a difficult one. Not impossible, but a difficult one. If they play their cards right, Darcheville, the surprise is there, but it's not enough. It's gonna be a 1v2, Enzo. He cannot hit even Nerds. That is gonna be the round 2 Endpoint. A costly one, but the round victory regardless. Whoa. Whew. That's an F in chat for LKG. Big W for MHL, though, and the rest of Endpoint. That double, that collat really made it possible for them to still win at the end, because if it wasn't a collateral, if only 1 kill had happened, it would have been equal standings in numbers, and that we all know how usually goes. The T's have the advantage in the afterplant, especially when they set up good positions through short and ramp. Well, LKG, even with a bomb plant, they're out of money. Tech 9s, Kevlars, a little bit of utility on Darcheville. All eyes on LKG. MHL connects again. This man is not to be trifled with. Nerds, surreal. Okay, the hold is there. Let's see if Nerds can stay alive a little bit longer before they get too close to the site. They do get him, but MHL is accurate, and now the bomb plant for Darcheville. Oh, this is a dangerous endeavor. Oh, MHL. Yeah, that's a lot of loss for the CTs, but they win the round regardless. They still have the op. It was a bit of a close call there. 6-5, Endpoint take the lead. Good angle. Heavy God with a free kill. Oh no, what? Darcheville? No, what is this? Darcheville just goes through the smoke, doesn't even check the corner. Astron does refrag, but Heavy God with a double. He's done his duty, he's done his due. Let's see if they can break the defense of Ado. MHL back on the op. He's gonna go onto the headshot spot, finds a shot. Doesn't kill Astron, but it's gonna be a 4v3 with an advantage to the CTs. This is looking pretty sweet. The bomb still planted. The nade finishing off Astron. MHL spots the player towards Cement. Oh, and of course hits Enzo. Why not? Tomico on site. Best chance he goes for the spray down. Can't happen. There you have it. 7-5. LKG. They do get a bomb plant at least. That is, you know, something. But loss bonus not being maximum. You know, not having $3.4 thousand, not having a bit of saved economy, it forces them to pistols and Kevlar again. Unless LKG are feeling lucky. And then they can go for AKs. 5 AKs across the board. That's what they can do. But they'll have pretty much no utility whatsoever besides a smoke and a nade, which is disastrous to say the least. So they're going to have to speed up their aggression. They're going to have to go together, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just rush A quickly. Well, they're going to take a little bit longer. Fair enough. With utility being thrown by Endpoint, they got to stop. Wait. And regroup. And it seems like B could be the option. Tomic already tagged. Nerds in a bit of an open spot. Easily checked if you are awaiting that. The angle for Surreal is good. Nerds comes out swinging as well. 2 frags, 3 frags. It's looking good. Nerds again with a hat trick, holding the line. And Enzo might have gotten the refrag, but he is alone against 4, and it's going to have to be an ace clutch for him. He's got a minute, and that minute's going to turn out real quick. Endpoint off to a glorious beginning on Vertigo. The Polish team here is having trouble going up against the wall of defenders. I mean, the fact is, they had a beautiful setting. Nerds on that corner on, of course, Sidewalk. And then obviously Surreal with the initial posting on top of the wooden railing. A nice little surprise party for Los KOGUTOS to walk into. Round 14, money gone for the Poles again. They tried, they really tried, but couldn't make it happen. That AK buy, unfortunately, without utility, you really are having to rely only on headshots. None delivered. And there it is, 8-5. Tech 9s across the board again. Kevlars to support it. And, of course, utility. Ramp control once more contested for. Makes sense. Usually Heavy God and MHL play that, but it's going to be Mighty Max supporting Heavy God. Oh, Heavy God. Okay. Oh, that is just nice to see. And then where Enzo's coming from. A clean round for Endpoint. Not that they need it, but certainly it is welcome. And we are entering the final round for the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the West Europe Series #1. The first of its kind. And of course, both of these two teams currently still at a 0-2 standing in the group stage, meaning a loss in this series would mean an elimination. So regardless of how we feel about these two teams, one of them is going to have to go home today, or at least going to stay home. The other having a chance to fight for still a spot in the playoffs. Round 15, and opening it up towards ramp, it's going to be Tomiko. Oof, good start by Heavy God. Mighty Max as well adds on top of that. Might have been refragged there, but the damage is dished out and an advantage for Endpoint kept. Brits, well, I shouldn't say the Brits, but the mixed UK team having a good position to work from. If they get 10 on the CT side, they're well set for the second. MHL finds Enzo, now down to Tomiko. He can't even get the last one. That is our first half done. Quick and easy, we can say. Done and dusted, 10-5. We'll go on to a short break for the halftime, and I'll see you guys real quick after we get ready for the second. Round 16, second half, and we are ready to see this in full swing now, going onto the pistol for Endpoint. 2 flashbangs and 4 Kevlars. We have another smoke and decoy on Heavy God. On the other side, dual Berettas for Astran. We do have Darcheville that dropped a flash and a smoke to one of his teammates. Well, 2 really. But it's going to be a B play by Endpoint. I like the determination here by Endpoint. They're like, okay, if we go anywhere, we go B. It's easier to clean up. It's easier to open up. Let's see what happens. Tomiko spotted. Tomiko gets one, but he will be dropped by Heavy God. Nerds finds Darcheville as well. That's the rotation quickly taken care of. A flash that breaks the stride for Shenanigan. Nerds, they might know he's somewhere in that position. Heavy God's still alive, though. It's going to be a 3v4 retake, a very difficult one. They got to jump over the ledge, and we can already see that they're being expected there. Nerds with the first from counter MBK. Astron with the duels. Okay, let's see this. Oh, he does get headshotted though. Surreal with the first, and I believe Astron now knows his time is up. No defuse means round is gone regardless if he gets the kills or not. And that is 11 to Endpoint as the second pistol goes in their hands. LKG in dire trouble right now. 14 frags for MHL, 21 frags for Mr. Nerds. Now that is what I call great success. Heavy God meanwhile on 13 as well, really looking good, solid really. Meanwhile for Los KOGUTOS, yeah, I mean we've got 2 players on 10 kills, the rest below that. So they're gonna have to up the ante if they really want to take a W out of this one. A bite out of Endpoint. Remember, this is the map pick of Los KOGUTOS. Team Molly. B is empty. They stacked a ramp, but Endpoint didn't take the bait. So this is 12-5 before we even begin. Oh, nice. Getting the fat stacks as well. Getting $1,800 in the bank. Another 600 for MHL. Oh, make it 1,200. They lose only Nerds, which is an acceptable loss of a single player in a situation like this. But here comes the buy, here comes the attempt from Los KOGUTOS. Now either they stop Endpoint right here, or we might as well already start calling this map as a W for Endpoint, because it ain't looking pretty right now. I'll tell you that much. Utility-wise, also lackluster. Not a single defuse kit. A little bit of damage early on. We've got Nerds tagged at 66. And B-ramp approach is coming out. Flash out. Nerds with the first. Surreal with the refrag. That's perfect. It sets the stage for the B-take. And Aslan, he cannot miss this. It was Aslan in... what was it? The movie... Oh god, I forgot. The lion that was the king, not the Lion King, but Aslan the lion in, oh god, Narnia, there we go, I remember. The movie Narnia. This guy's Aslan, so maybe his long-lost brother. Might be a lion in disguise, but right now he's still keeping to his human form, so he's gonna go big. He's gonna have to go big. The rest of the team likewise. 13-5, and this is... It's gonna be tough. Nerds at 25 frags. I mean, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? We're not even in round 20 yet. He's got 25 kills. That's insane. That's Nerds for you. He's on the road to tier 1 real quick. With performances like this, keep it consistent, and Endpoint might have to look for a new player within the next year. Or create a legacy with him. You never know. Default from LKG. Tomiko actually gets a shot off Okay, Nerds getting caught. A bit unlucky there. But a nice shot by Tomiko, I trust. Surreal gets Asran. Enzo replies. Still going to be an advantage for LKG. They get the ball rolling. If they could win this round, it'd be perfect. They'd stop the progression for Endpoint. They'd stop them from reaching 14, potentially 15 soon after. So there is a long way to go. Ooh, goodbye MHL. He's dead. Yeah, he's throwing nades. Easily checked. Taken care of. Okay, that's it. That's going to be Shenanigan with the double. Okay. Well. Endpoint. They get caught in their own heads there a little bit. That early shot by Tomiko really perhaps scared them off a tiny bit. Map 2, of course, being Ancient, the choice of Endpoint. I feel like it's a must W here for LKG if they wish to have a chance of pushing to a third. Bit of a slowdown. Endpoint again losing the early entry. Darcheville. Oh, he's gonna be checked. Oh, MHL. That's a cheeky check. Mighty Max finds Astron as well. They might have lost the player in between, but they've got a 3-on-3 right now. A push coming out, and they know there's a player on short. They are well aware of it, and they will give him a look-see. Shenanigans. Well, he's certainly going to be the Shenanigans here. Not beating the defense. And oh, Tomiko. The eagerness to get that kill. The eagerness to get the early advantage. Unfortunately, binds him to die as Enzo in a 1v2. One shot through the smoke, a second, not really making it happen, and well. Ooh, it's a tough loss, economically speaking, especially. Two players will be broken in that regard. Gonna have to go for the MP9s again. And Los Kogutos, they'll try their best. Deagle, MP9, and 3 rifles. Let's see how they play with that, as previously a Deagle was enough to get an early entry by Tomiko's hand. Let's see if perhaps Enzo can secure one. Tomiko alone on B, supported by Darcheville coming in immediately. Actually, not even keeping to middle. I kind of like that. They want to close ranks, make sure they don't get caught one by one. Would be their biggest mistake. Now, Endpoint yet to decide whether or not they go B or A. They've got both positions kind of prepared for, but not really yet on the part where they decide where they want to go. Seems like A is the case, though. As they go up ramp A, Heavy God is going to be coming in behind as the lurk. If he catches anybody off guard, anybody for free, it's going to be a perfect setting for Endpoint's victory. And they got to wait a little bit longer. They've got the time, but they don't wait. MHL gets caught. And look at Heavy God. He's about to get one. Oh, only the one. A nice try, but that's not enough. Enzo comes out swinging. Mighty Max finds Astron. Shenanigans replies. It's a 2-on-2 again. In tower, headshot. It's Shenanigan. From CT entry, it's Tomiko. And LKG need this round. That's as simple as that. A simple equation. 1 + 1 equals a chance. 1 + none equals a loss of this first map of their own choice. Oh, nice angle on Nerds. Walks into it. Now down to Shenanigan. He has the defuse. He can hold it. And he's going to hold it. I guarantee you that much. Yep, Nerds is even going to peek. No, he will. By the time he does, it's too late. Shenanigan, smart choice. Goes for the defuse. Gets the round. Then saves LKG from certain loss there. Should be an eco now for Endpoint. Needs to be an eco, really. I mean, they can drop an AK. But they're still gonna go, ooh. Yeah, I mean, Mighty Max, I mean, three players had barely anything to buy with, so they drop one AK, they buy another, and they go without helmet for Heavy God with an AK. I mean, sure, that's a risky move, but they know they're at an advantage. They know the economy is low for LKG, so it makes sense at the end. They can break LKG right here and close the map if they win it. But again, risk is high. Lose this and maybe LKG can get away back in. Astron with the first, through the smoke with a headshot. Good pop flash, Shenanigans gonna be caught. Enzo, he's not checked. Enzo's not checked. A mistake. Heavy God gets called as well. Archibald pushes B, finds Nerds, and that's what I'm talking about now. Endpoint have a tough job on their hands. A 1v2 for Mighty Max. There you have it. As I said, the risk is high and they pay a high price for it. And eco is a must. They could have easily averted that full buy and tried something half and half. Could have still had pretty much similar success. Though they did a lot of damage to LKG, to be honest. So there is an opening. They could still, you know, further impair LKG on their buys in the coming rounds. Enzo, oh, I love this. You know, he's all up in your face. He's like, yeah, you want to face me? Let's go, baby. Take your chance, because you ain't gonna get another one. 14-9, 5 to go to tie it up. Let's see if Los KOGUTOS have what it takes. A lot of balls, a lot of energy, and a lot of patience. Round 24 right now. Endpoint. Can they close the gap and get 15, or will LKG continue their success? Enzo with the first. Good start. The op connecting. Archibald, bit of an angle to work with. Shenanigan and Tomiko find two, though. Ooh, a team kill by Heavy God. That is a shame. And a nade to finish off Heavy God. And as I said, Endpoint, they set the stage now for LKG to potentially make the comeback happen. With the majority players surviving, this could get out of hand real quickly. Let's find out for certain. Tech-9s again. No Kevlars, a smoke, a nade. And they're still splitting hard. That's the one thing I'm not sold on, is the fact that they're splitting this much on ecos. But I guess they have the game plan set and the motion to win. As Enzo's down, Shenanigans tagged. Astron looking for early engagements. He gets a real nade on MHL as well. Mighty Max caught, and MHL might be dead in the water here. A fish in a barrel. Heavy God and Nerds. No hope. That is 11 to LKG. Immediately the op for MHL is bought. Makes sense. But here comes the boom. Ladies and gents, it's a B push. It looks like they're going to commit to this. Oh, Tomiko's wide in the open. Okay. A little bit of an overextension. Darcheville as well tries to look into the maw, into the void of death. And Endpoint is looking right back with their fingers on their triggers and, of course, with their crosshairs on their heads. 2 kills within the first 15 seconds of the round, and Endpoint have no reason to rush to a quick victory. They can take this one a lot slower than they initially imagined. As a B push still seemingly on their mind, might want to throw the scent off of them by trying to fake A, perhaps, if that is something they're feeling comfortable with, or just go for an actual B take instead and commit to it fully. Rotations happening. Enzo coming in to support his teammate. He gets one. Shenanigan does fall right after. Enzo denied a quick kill. Oh, Mighty Max is going to be caught. And Endpoint did try to rotate towards A. I think they should have just committed B, man. At this point, you were too deep. And now Enzo with the AWP. He can make havoc. He can wreak havoc, more specifically. Endpoint in trouble. This could get out of hand quickly. Luckily, MHL hits, but it's a one-on-one. Heavy God, 19 seconds. He does have to pick up the bomb and then take down Astran. This is going to be now impossible for the timing that it is. Astran goes out wide, but Heavy God with the fake. Astran takes the bait, hook, line, and sinker. And Endpoint on the back of Heavy God secure the 15th, secure the map point. 4 to go for Los KOGUTOS, and we go to OT, or it is map 1 to Endpoint. Whew, Mighty Max onto a Mech 10. 30 frags for Nerds, by the way. I just want to point that out. 30 bloody frags for this mad lad. He's really popping off crazy. Ramp control fought for. A lot of damage dished out on to Endpoint already. Great nades early on. Oh, there's the angle for Enzo, though. It's better than MHL's. He was not ready for the peak from that ledge. Darcherville realizing, you know what? Let's not risk too much. We've got an Astran, hello? Knock, knock, anybody home? Because that wasn't a smart choice, I'm sorry to say, but you got an advantage, lads. Why are you pushing ramp? You're giving Endpoint a chance to bring it back home. And look at B. It's wide open for the taking. Tomiko's there, but if he rotates off to the ledge, this could quickly come to a successful B take. And already the angle for Nerds is good. There's the 31st frag for him. And the 51st floor here being occupied by the T's as Shenanigans finds one. Nerds replies, 32 frags for the man. He's popping off. 2v3 now. It's all eyes on Darcherville and Enzo, and they do it. 1v2. This is it. It's all eyes on Surreal. Can he make it happen? The answer is no. Enzo finds the kill and secures a safe defuse. 3 to go. Money for the T's, good enough to buy. If they want to, they will. And we go to a quick B take, or at least B ramp take. Nerds! This man, 33 frags deep. Ooh. Astran and Tomiko, though, reply. 3-on-3 as MHL before that. Good nade. Ringing in the ears of Surreal. Heavy God. Does he expect Enzo? Might have heard the scope, but I think he was seen. I'm fairly certain he was seen. Yes, he was, but Heavy God. Okay. Reaction is faster. Oh, the angle. The angle favors the ball, but Tomiko. He was likewise prepared. Takes down Nerds, 2v2. And Tomiko, he's going to rotate A. They're going to stick their eggs in one basket. Makes sense. On the CT side, whenever you're at a man disadvantage, you're always going to put your eggs in one basket and want to make sure you're at the right spot. But They're reading it wrong. They're thinking the man is on B. Instead, it's going to be Mr. Asteron that tries to save this. He can't. Heavy God. He must have taken some flack in the previous rounds, but he just secured the victory. 16-12. Endpoint to take the W and secure map 1 for their own. The map choice of Los KOGUTOS is lost indeed. And we are going to be getting ready for our second one, Ancient, the map choice of Endpoint. And that is where things go very differently possibly for Los KOGUTOS, as it is a hard advantage for Endpoint. But instead, before we go there, a 10-minute intermission. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed what you've seen, you can check me out on my Twitter at overseer before I break a glass. And of course, make sure to, to keep on watching. We've got more games to come after this. My good colleague and co-caster Nexus will be taking over afterwards. But for now, a quick break, and we'll see you guys real quick in the West European Series number 1.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
Are you sick of just opening with Hellcase?
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
And we are live, ladies and gents, getting ready for our second map, Ancient, here between Endpoint and, of course, Los KOGUTOS. After what we've just seen, Los KOGUTOS certainly have the energy, the drive, the potential, let's say, focus. But unfortunately, they weren't successful enough in their first map, their own map choice. Now getting ready for our second one, as I said, Ancient. This is where things take a turn for the wild. Let's see if that is the case as we start our second map. And here we are, our second map. As I said, Ancient, the choice of Endpoint this time around, starting on the T side, interestingly enough, as Los KOGUTOS decided to start T side. B retake seems to be in the mind of Endpoint, and we'll see how that works as we get ready for the execution. They've got a smoke coming out towards CT long. They've got no smoke for this short position of square, but in comes the rest of the CTs all through CT itself. So they're going to be coming in hot and ready for this one. As we have the first few shots exchanged, nobody, well, now we see MHL and Nerds both fall, and well, LKG. Would you look at that? They win the pistol yet again. Fair enough. That is going to be our first round done. Very quick one at that. Not going to lie, expected it to be a little bit shorter. Excuse me, a little bit different rather than shorter. But Endpoint, as I said, starting on the CT side, their map choice, surely they'll have quite a little bit of a surprise here for LKG. We'll see how that goes. Forced by Deagles 5-7s. Meanwhile, Mech 10s, Galil, AKs for LKG. And the stack towards A will tell us that This round is most likely lost already for Endpoint. Highly unlikely they even attempt a retake. They're gambling it all on it being A, and, well, unfortunately for them, it is not the case. Meanwhile, LKG, clean take of the site, and a perfect start that would make anybody envy. Or envious. Woo. Oh, my voice is giving out. You can hear that. I hope not too much. All the excitement gets me roaring. And sometimes roaring too much. So, let's go into the details of why Ancient is going to be a difficult map for Los KOGUTOS. I have spoken about that a little bit more in depth earlier. Now let's really break it down. So, last we saw Endpoint play Ancient was about yesterday, I believe, against Big Academy. They took them down 16-5. A few days ago, well, actually, about 20 days ago or so in the Pro League relegation conference, if you will, to call it that. They did lose against Forza, but they did win against 9. So there's definitely something to be said there, and they made it a very close loss against Forza, whilst beating 9 to submission 16-3. So certainly Endpoint have the right idea how to play this map. Let's see if they can put it to use as we go into... Oh, Heavy God, what? Oh, man. Tomiko with the reply, at least. That got a little bit heated, a little bit too quickly. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That was a close call. Endpoint. They're already putting nails in the coffin here. Hitting hard. This retake, surely attempted. But let's see how it will be executed. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's getting out of hand. It is getting out of hand, but no time, no defuse. Yeah, time has run out for the CTs, unfortunately. Mighty Max might be able to make it away, and he will be able... No, just... Oh boy. Yeah, that's a shame. He had Kevlar alongside the AK, but luckily Nerds is there to pick it up. I was sure he would survive with 1 or 2 HP, but instead he still dies. Los KOGUTOS getting 3 early to start the round off and to start the map off. Now on to the gun round. The round where Endpoint on Vertigo were able to quickly reply with 5 in a row. Actually, was it 5 in a row or was it 4 and then 1 in between and then 5 to 4? Deludes me. Regardless. It was 5-3 and then... No, yeah, so it was 3 in a row for Los KOGUTOS, 3 in a row for Endpoint, then 2 more for Los KOGUTOS, then basically a never-ending success till the end of the half for Endpoint to close it out at 7 rounds in a row, 10-5. So let's see if perhaps they can repeat a similar success this time round as we go into MHL's up-buy. We have full utility for the most part on majority of the players. We're lacking another diffuse kit potentially here. Would be nice to see. An Endpoint choosing this map with LKG choosing to start T side. That's the surprise there. If they had a diffuse previously, they probably would have been able to win that eco. Instead, now they'll have to win the gun round. A play coming in mind for LKG. They've got their execution ready. Here comes the smoke, too short. Mighty Max on site. Molly immediately extinguished. Oof, Darcheville though finding MHL. Good start. Astran finds Mighty Max. That's it. They should save. Endpoint has no business trying to retake this anymore. They've lost one too many players to try and do anything with it. Yes, a lot of damage. Absolutely. But they do not know that. They're not sure how that tagged LKG are. So this is 4-0. Enzo on the hunt, but not really going to be able to do anything. MHL also losing his op. A sad state of affairs currently for Endpoint when it comes to economy. Now they should rebuy. Nerds has enough to drop another AWP, and they have enough for 2 rifles if need be. Just the one will be required most likely, though. There should be an op drop. Yep, there we go. Endpoint. They were conservative with their economy, and therefore they can reinvest. Meanwhile, for LKG, losing a few players doesn't put them behind too much, but certainly not the best economy they could have had, given the 4-0 start. Round 5. Mid control by the T's established. Nerds in towards Donut. Speedway control in the hands of LKG. MHL, meanwhile, over the smoke. Spots Enzo, gets the shot. Surreal. Ooh, I think he might have spotted a leg there. Tomiko could be in danger if he tries to do this again. Surreal. He's going for the off angle. He has the angle. He has the kill. Tomiko down. Here comes the B attempt. Heavy God through the smoke. Shenanigan replies, even blinded. Yet a 4v2 retake bomb gonna be planted here, no doubt. LKG. This time round, though, the after plant will not succeed. I mean, it's down to Shenanigan. He has to go for the ace clutch. He's got one already. So ace or bust is what it's at. And I think we already know it's a bust, as that is the first one for Endpoint. Round 6, and what a round this could be. No op for Enzo. Still looking like it could be a B take. Nerds checking out Speedway. The smoke preventing him from seeing anything at all. Ooh, Shenanigan trying to get up on that ledge. That's a, like, it's quite a difficult jump to retain that position, but he does it. He does it. He's above the smoke. Can he see anybody? No. Spotted by Heavy God. Heavy God with a secondary as well. As Astron replies, the damage is dished out. Nerds comes in swinging from Cave. And Darcheville, he's going to have a phenomenal shot, but not even going to be close to it. Second for Endpoint, 4 survivors. Money bumps up a notch. And it is another buy available with pistols and Kevlar this time for LKG if they really decide to go for it. I feel like it should be an eco, not an over-investment. They don't have an unlimited supply of economy. With bomb plants, they make their life easier, yes, but with round losses, not so much. Astran, tagged. Nerds will find him. And as I said, pistols, Kevlar. Even then, being a little bit too divided here, this should not be too much of a hassle for Endpoint to finish off on a high note. And Nerds, as Nerds does. Oh my God, Nerds. Oh, man. This guy runs out of bullets. Still doesn't die. Pulls out the USB. Gets the 4. Whew. What a game. What a round. What a match. AKs. Galil for Darcheville. And Endpoint retaining the majority of their economy. looking hot on the trail of LKG, like they should be able to tie this one up. B rush. All 5 players towards B ramp. Nade over. Hits Enzo. Ooh, MHL catches Shenanigan. They spotted the players coming in towards Leopard as well. Oh, that Molly's gonna burn one at least a little bit. A second, Surreal finds the kill. There's a one more player in the corner, and MHL does not expect him. But does it matter? The answer is absolutely, unequivocally no. Endpoint 4-4 tying it up. 4 in a row. This should be simple. And an eco next for LKG without a bomb plant. The loss bonus at $2.4 thousand ain't really gonna be a helpful bunch for them. Actually, 2.9, apologies. $2.9 thousand loss bonus. Still, it's not like it's gonna help much. Pistols and Kevlar, once again, at best. So 5-4 should be expected. Endpoint off to a brilliant start after a bit of a shaky opener. 4 rounds lost initially, especially that first gun round was hectic and painful, with both MHL and I believe Nerds getting clapped pretty much as soon as LKG entered a site. Now, back to standard kind of style. Speedway control and a B rush again. Yes, it is. It's another B take. And this time, a good start. Surreal gets taken out. Bomb plant available, potentially. They are going to do it. There we have it. Retake now for Endpoint. And this is a bit more difficult than it looks. Especially with Aspen finding Nerds on the flank. That's another weapon in the hands of LKG. 3v4. LKG. Oh, okay, Enzo. Why in the world would you risk that? It's not the first time we see this. Astron did a similar thing on their CT side of Vertigo, where they had the advantage, yet he still threw himself through a smoke and died. Tomico, meanwhile, defending the line. Astron failing to take down MHL. A 2v2 and a 1v2 and a 1v1. Darcheville will get it, though. 5-4. What the hell? Endpoint. I was certain. I was convinced. I was 100% in. And seems like so they were but they got clapped on the early start. Bomb got planted and effectively ran out of time. Lost KOGUTOS. 5 rounds already. Looking okay-ish. As I said earlier in the previous series, if they can get 5 to 6, maybe 7 rounds at total, they'll be very happy with the outcome. Lost KOGUTOS, that is. Especially going up against the Endpoints past success. Or successes, if you want to call it. Meanwhile, an A play and is down to Mighty Max. He needs to find a multi-frag. A bare minimum of 2. 3 to be safe. And they're all stuck in Donut. Through the smoke. They're not looking for the risky endeavor. Smoke is about to fade, though. And MHL not ready. Not looking at the right direction. Astron with the first. Mighty Max still needs a multi-frag, as I said. Gets 1, gets 2. Let's see if he gets the third as well. It's a 3-on-3 bomb yet to be planted. Surreal gets caught. Mighty Max, good counter flash. 3 kills for him. This just made it possible for the CTs to go for this retake. The smoke is about to fade. Oh, Heavy God has the advantage now. 1v2. Darcheville, he's tagged. And he's soon to be bagged. One mistake could be enough. Bomb planted on a classic spot. And he's gonna try, but the angle is just not good enough. And he runs out of bullets likewise. 5-5 tied up. LKG not going to be happy with that, but they do what they must. Ladies and gentlemen, a hell of a game this is coming out to be. I like what I'm seeing. Definitely a bit of a better performance from LKG in half 1 than we saw it on Vertigo. They still lost the Vertigo half 10-5, so unless that's repeated, it's already a better half. Meanwhile, money for Endpoint. At 1 point, 16,000 on Nerds, just to point it out. He still has 7k, 8k for Heavy God, 7k for Mighty Max. More than enough for at least one more afterwards, if they fail to pick this one. It's a real? Oh, that's a free kill for him. Oh, he didn't spot the leg. He did. Oh, okay. Go. Okay. It's real. He's got 6 bullets and he's dead. Yep, that's B-side lost. The CT's no answer. Nothing they can really do about it. And then, again, Enzo goes onto the ledge there, onto the stairway. Nice little angle you can take a fight from Tomiko and Enzo. That's it. That's a save. Endpoint, no business trying to retake no more. Six to 5. So as I said, an improvement on the previous half already, especially on the T side of Ancient. It's looking solid. I guess he wanted to go for a cheeky defuse, but not happening. As I said, money from the previous rounds, the success of having 16k on Nerds allows them to get into another buy, but this is one of their last, at least for the moment. Lose this, most likely Nico will have to be played. 3 players are broken, although loss bonus is starting to accumulate, so potentially, if Nerds gets a few kills, they still lose. Maybe they can buy a few rifles, that's possible, but let's see for certain as we start round 12 right here, right now. 5 AKs and an A play coming out. Again, Mighty Max to be tested and tried. And he's burning. Oof, hard burn, as well as the second molly that burns him even harder. A lineup, though! Not a kill. More than one. That's not enough. Nerds, he's done as much as he could, but doesn't get more than one. That's it. Another save. Endpoint, no choice but to save. So they'll buy the next as well. Ooh, 7 to 5. Looking so good. LKG. Now we know why they chose T side to start with on on Ancient, excuse me. And everybody's showing up. That's the important part. Everybody's giving their best and their most. Not sure why Heavy God needs to chase a player. He dies needlessly, and now the economy's still again in shambles. If both had survived, things would have been looking better, but nope. Both die. Now, according to my calculations, there should be enough just for 2 rifles dropped from Nerds. So one for himself, one for his teammate if they decide to go for it. But I think that's not really going to happen. Or is it? He goes for 1. He can drop another. But no, with the Deagle buy-in, with the 5-7, yeah. Just a single hero AK for Nerds. He had 33 frags, I believe, to finish off map 1. So certainly we expect him to repeat similar success here on Ancient. Shenanigan in the corner, spotted the head. Nerds finds Astran, as I said, now he's gonna die. Tomiko and Shenanigan reply quickly. Surreal with 1 more on Shenanigan, though. Starting to look like it could work. Endpoint have those pistols up again, and not easy to beat them when you don't know where they are exactly. The surprise party's on, and yep, there goes Mighty Max. Finds Tomiko. Bomb gonna be planted. B, retake in action. Surely they try it, though. I'm convinced they'll go for this. Makes no sense to not try. They'll have money for the next. That's not an issue. Let's see if they can get anything more out of this, though, as Surreal. Good flash. Tarcheville. Oh, MHL! MHL got both. What? What the hell? Okay, 6-7. 6-7. Jesus. What is going on here? 1v2 and both line up, and MHL from the back in CT. Bam! A bit of a lucky setup, but it works. Lucky or not, it works. Endpoint must look out to not lose this round, though. Remember, their economy took a big swing in the wrong direction just a few ago, and losing here would most likely translate into them having barely anything to scrape by for the last 15th. as Nerds is spotted on middle. The molly is enough to break away the aggression of LKG. We have control contested for, of course, Cheetah, aka Leopard. As Surreal is looking to do some damage, but actually misses the nade. And a B push behind it. 4 players, actually 3 players on the defense at the most ready. A 4th one, that would be Nerds for the flank. And here comes the push. Again, here comes the boom. Oh, they spotted him. The lineup doesn't work again. Heavy got only 1. That's not good enough. Mighty Max, the lineup for him, though. Almost got the player jumping into CT as well. 4v3. MHL locked out in CT by Molotov. Shenanigan fails to pick up Surreal. They still don't know Mighty Max is there, though. He could be spotted. And he will be as they get the last 2. 7-7. The tie is here. Endpoint securing at the very least equal standings for as much as they can. And this also breaks the back of LKG, as they have barely anything to fall onto economically speaking. 3 AKs, 2 Galils or Mech 10s, depending on what they prefer. A Deagle for Enzo. Fair enough. And of course, a Deagle for you perhaps. A knife, an op. The Hellcase giveaway that we have got going here with our partner Hellcase. Make sure to give them a look. I believe in the channel description below, where you're watching it currently, there is a link to that. 7-7. Drakeville. Okay, Surreal and Nerds. They still let go a player into CT, but does it matter? No, this is 8-7. Now they know Darcheville. He's made his way to CT, yes, but it's a 1v3. He's got time on his hands, but he doesn't have the positional advantage too much to go with. Although, last 2 players tagged up. He found Mighty Max. It's gonna have to be an ace clutch. Can he pull it off? Darcheville, he's at 14 frags. This man, if anybody can, this guy can. He certainly had a brilliant start to the map regardless. Ooh, but unfortunately spotted by Surreal. A hat-trick for him, and the half ending 8-7. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a short break and see you for the second half, second pistol here on Ancient. And back we are, second half, second pistol. We start off round 16 here. It is dual Berettas for Enzo and Astran. The rest with USPs. Again, a flash in the hands of Darcheville and a B execution coming out from Endpoint. They're going to be running into a trap. There's 3 players here ready for this counter flash. Doesn't work though. Nobody falls. Darcheville finds 1. But is it enough is the question. Shenanigans is already out of commission. Bomb still going to be planted. Cannot be prevented as it is going to be Tomiko. Tomiko! No! Tomiko doesn't do it. Finally, Darcheville brings it back, but it's a 2-on-3. Mighty Max cannot hold his own, and they know where Heavy God is. There is no defuse kit available, and they're all going to push him. Yes, they will. And that is pistol to LKG. They win both pistols on Ancient, securing themselves a strong start as well for their CT side. Ladies and gentlemen, a vital moment here for Endpoint. on the gun round that is to come with the bomb plant. They won't throw away this round as a force bind. Rather save what they can. Get ready for the vital moments, for the vital rounds, excuse me. These legals can be still extremely difficult to deal with. So one mistake could throw you off your guard and completely annihilate your chance of winning. Luckily, it seems like LKG have some sort of protectional bubble around them. Not a single deagle hits a headshot. 9 rounds to LKG. And the gun round coming out for Endpoint. Op out immediately for MHL. No surprise there, but no helmet means 1 bullet to the head will be enough to find him dead. This feels like the hammer in a amusement park, you know, guys? The hammer that swings back and forth and turns on its head. Man, wish I could be back in Gardaland. Nerds! Nerds? Again? 2? What? On the same spot? LKG? Don't do yourself in like that. You don't want to lose it all for nothing. Oof, nerds. That is such a clean check. The man checks his corners like a monster, I can say. D'Archeville's still alive. He's got 19 frags. He's going by the path, by the footsteps of Nerds from Vertigo. Nerds not too far behind at 17. Both trying to topple his own personal result in this best of 3 so far. Best result. 33 frags at the end of Vertigo. It did go to 28 rounds, but still insane. And that is going to be the round gone. Both players saving what they can. Nerds just effectively waiting on middle. Not sure if they want to lurk to try and find them. There's not a lot of money on Endpoint, so they don't want to risk losing more than a single player. Even one would be a lot. 9-9. Endpoint with effectively a clean round here. Okay, this is a bad spot for D'Archeville, because if somebody comes from long A, H, they can see him before his teammate can refrag. But luckily it does. Okay, MHL somehow died, by the way. And they lost. Okay, they didn't lose the op. Mighty Max picks it up, but that was an unnecessary death for MHL. Round 19. With 2 rifles surviving, they can drop 2 more. And Los Kogutos. Two on B. 1 middle, 1 donut. Kind of standard setup that we see here from these lads. Really just classical positional advantage they're trying to build into. Ooh, Shenanigans got spotted. His foot got spotted. That's why Nerds took such an interest immediately there. 4 players still ganged up in front of B by Endpoint. Seems like that could be their choice of execution, though. Let's wait and see what exactly the plan might be here. "60 seconds. Counting down the clock. Remember, you gotta plant before the last 4 seconds start to run out. Middle engagement. Ooh, somebody's running through the smoke. Is he? Is that Enzo trying to go through the smoke? 2 players on CT deep. Mighty Max still finds one. Oh Mighty Max. Okay. Mad Lad with an even madder shot and a secondary right after. Sorry, I'll stop using Mad Lad. That's just a bad thing. I think a bad way to put it. He's just good. That's it. He's just good. Really good. Tomiko. He needs to keep himself alive. If I don't know if they are going to be able to buy regardless if he survives, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing perhaps a few pistols, and a hero M4 always helps. It could be a difference maker. In either case, just pistols is what they'll go for. So unless Endpoint royally screw it up, we're seeing possibly 11-9 soon enough. Oof, nerds, beautiful. So, as expected, here we are. The round that LKG gotta win. This is it. This is it, LKG. For me, all or nothing. For them, even more so. If they lose this, their economy in shambles. Their position in the map in shambles. Darcheville. Jumping, making a lot of noise. Nerds hearing it all. Oh, nerds. Oh, the lurk. Oh, this is such a good lurk, nerds. And they're going to go towards A, so he's got a perfect position to work from. There goes the first. That's Darcheville now in Temple. They know somebody's there. Although Enzo with a quick reaction, good shot. A 3-on-3 Astron. They're still aware he's there. So the only thing they need is somebody to prevent him from pushing forward without their knowledge. And surely they'll have eyes on that. Oh god, all three going into... I'm not sure why all three are going in towards Donut, but that is not a good choice. And oh, they use both smokes. They use both smokes. Oh, no, that's not a good thing. And there is no defuse available. That means a 10-second defuse is a must. The second smoke, no, it was thrown on the bomb plant. Excuse me. Never mind, I didn't see it. It is a 10-second defuse, though. And the angle is not good enough. The angle is certainly not good enough. Oh my god, LKG, you are playing with my emotions. An Endpoint, they needed nerds to be more successful in his flank, not to mention the fact that Astron was in Temple all that time. They knew about it, yet they still did nothing about it. Maybe he didn't see him, maybe he didn't hear him, but I'm fairly certain they were aware. And then all three going into Donut, not something I'm sold upon just yet. But let's see, round 22. 1 to go to tie it up. LKG still economically in trouble. For Endpoint, not as much. They've got 7k on 2 players. Effectively 3 if we count Heavy God with 6.2 thousand as well. And like the B ramp push, Mighty Max, not expecting that. Counter mollies, Enzo finds MHL and Mighty Max. Well, that's a great start for LKG. Nerds finds Darcheville. Oh, look at the A push. Look at the A push. Enzo, he's going to check the corner, but not good enough. Heavy God. He's expecting him there. And that is an immediate advantage in the hands of Endpoint. 50 seconds, more than enough money. Shenanigan, fairly certain he's going to be checked. Now he gets stacked, so they know he's there. Tomiko finds Mighty Max. The shadow gives it away, though. Shenanigan walks in towards ramp and gets caught in that transference. Nerds! Okay. That's it. Astron got save. Gotta save his ass. That is 12 to 10 LKG. I am not sure if they'll have enough for reinvestment. If I'm counting correctly, this should be So this should be $2.4 thousand bonus. So Astron can drop a FAMAS. Enzo has enough for a rifle. Tomiko can go for a FAMAS. And then we're just lacking one more player to be equipped. If they have 2.9, then they'll buy 100%. 2.4, not as convincing. So let's see. It's 1.9. It's even less than I thought. Yeah, they got 2 rounds. They then lost 3, so 1, 4. Yeah. It makes sense. No, they've just won 1, so they got 1 down. So instead of 2.4, they get 1.9. Yeah. They're still going to buy, but the FAMASs are not going to be as good, unfortunately. Lacking utility, likewise. A diffuse kit would be nice. Given the investment, Astron needs to buy the diffuse kit, in my opinion. He needs that diffuse kit desperately, and he doesn't go for it. Yeah, this is risking a lot, LKG. This is also putting your own chance of winning this series on the line. Oh, as soon as the smoke clears, there's going to be a lot of firepower. There's the 1, there's the 2. An equal trade that favors, unfortunately, in this case, Endpoint. Not even an equal, excuse me. A better trade for Endpoint. LKG already saving. Yeah, they realize no point. No defuse, no smoke, no nothing. Just run away while you can. 13 to 10 LKG. This time round, they do get 2.4 thousand. This time round, they have to go for an eco. They don't have a choice. Unless Astron decides to buy, again, a FAMAS or something and drop another FAMAS to Tomiko, which would... I mean, it's not impossible. It certainly isn't, but it's just... I feel like they need better weapons than that. They need utility as well, and if they keep on buying like this, eventually they'll just break all. Break it all, more exactly. I really am not sold on them reinvesting, but let's see for certain what is the case. Kevlar for Astron. Helmet as well. Utility MP9. Yeah, they're going to go for a buy. Tomiko as well. Most likely MP9 likewise. Could go for FAMAS, as I said, but it's going to leave him without any utility. Yep. Please buy a diffuse kit for the love of God. Come on. Your own countryman, your own legendary CS player said it. Don't be a loser. Buy a diffuser. Quoted by Pasha Biceps. Pasha Biceps. Oh, nerds. Great headshot on Shenanigan. Nobody... Like, Shenanigan just walks out of... Leopard like that. I don't... Yeah, it doesn't sell me on that idea. Where's the control? Where's anybody checking the corners? Darcheville. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is a disaster brewing. Even though loss bonus goes up to 2.9 next, it's... a disaster in wait. Bomb about to be planted. Oh, the flank. They catch Enzo with the op. Yeah. Los Cogutas will be more like Los Perutas. Or more like Los Fried Chicken tonight. With a little bit of lemon over. Hot sauce. Crispy fried chicken here, Los Cogutas. Ain't looking good, guys. Ain't looking good. I mean, they'll save again. Yes, they have a buy again. Luckily, somehow they're pulling these buys out of somewhere with saving these players. Yes, but even that, at one point, you know, you just can't hope that saving like this will eventually lead to your own victory. I mean, at one point you got to change it up, and without having M4s, without having consistent utility, you're forced to make decisions that at the end, on the long run, don't help you too much as an upgrade. Okay, I respect that by Darcheville. He actually upgrades into an M4 instead of keeping the MP9. I don't mind that, actually. I really don't. They need firepower. He's the only one that's really delivering currently, and he's been quiet for the last time I mentioned him, he had 19 frags. That was still at the start of the second half, and Nerds had 17. Now Nerds has 27, and Darcheville still has 19. Just a comparison between the two. And whilst Nerds got 10 kills, Darcheville remained at 19. We have a technical pause that was momentary here. A bit of loss on the side of LKG, but we are back. Round 25 and a vital one. This is it, gentlemen. This is it. Either Los KOGUTOS win this round and have a chance to close this map with a W, or they are eliminated from this tournament. It is a simple equation as that, as Tomiko gets one. Not bad. Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. MHL. Well. Well, how the tables turn, don't they? How the turntables would be a better expression in this case for Los KOGUTOS. Michael Scott would be proud. Darcheville, 4K or bust. $15-10. Los KOGUTOS. 2 players above 10 kills. Three MP9s, a FAMAS, and an M4. Gentlemen, 5 in a row. Can they do it? Can they pick it up? They had 5 to start the map with in a row. Surely they could repeat the success now. As we have mid-presence contested for. Molly's nades being traded. A lot of presence shown towards Leopard as well. Shenanigan, the one to try and hold the line. Nerds get stagged a lot. Still at 27. MHL though finds Asran. The start is good. Shenanigan. Oh boy, Shenanigan doesn't check the corner. Mighty Max with a double. Tomiko with a double as well. 3v2. Oh, look at Heavy God. This guy's like, I'm a god. And I'm not easy to beat. I mean, he's still alive. Not really too healthy in HP points, but the bomb planted on B. 2v2. Darcheville and Tomiko. Again, no defuse kit. Again, the same issue as I said earlier. Where are the defuse kits, guys? You need those defs. Otherwise, you might just be dead. 20 seconds, let's say 25 seconds to go. Timing is off angle for Tomiko. And Darcheville, he will not be able to do it. 16-10, ladies and gentlemen. It is Endpoint that secured the victory over Los KOGUTOS and eliminate them from the tournament. Endpoint remain in at the 1-2 scoreline in the Swiss stage. And of course, give themselves a chance to continue going in the tourney itself in the West European Series here. It is still 2 more best of 3 for them to be won in a row. No more chances of losing, but it is better than nothing. It is better than being here eliminated at 0-3. That is Los KOGUTOS' fate, not theirs. Congratulations to Endpoint. They were the better team. They had the better performance, especially Nerds. Big shout out to this man. He had, I believe, 27 or 28 kills at the end of this second map. 33 kills at the end of the first map. And we didn't even go the full 30 rounds. So that speaks for itself. And with that being said, I do think we are done here now for the time being. We will be back in about 20 minutes time. Could be at 5 o'clock, actually. I'll make a double check right now, but I believe we continue on with Big versus HONORIS at 5 o'clock. No, what am I saying? Not Big versus HONORIS. Oh my god. Sorry. With Misfits versus Nexus. That, of course, will be casted by my dear colleague and co-caster, Nexus. So make sure to give him much love as well as you've given to me. But thank you for tuning in here with me, Overseer. Feel free to check me out on Twitter. Until then, until the next time, be good, be well, and I'll see you on the next broadcast.
A very complicated job.